Hey, what's up, guys? Today I wanted to talk a little bit about why the Elder Scrolls 6 is most likely doomed. I've been playing Skyrim since the day it came out in 2011, nearly 15 years ago. So I think I have a pretty solid base on what I can and can't talk about. I have thousands of hours in the game. And there's a few talking points I'd like to go over on why I think this is. I want to start with Bethesda's history and their history of really good games. The original Doom, Doom 2, Arena, Daggerfall, Wolfenstein, Oblivion, Fallout 3, Skyrim, New Vegas. This was like the peak of Bethesda performance right here. Even though, of course, you know, Obsidian made New Vegas, they still signed off on it. So Bethesda has always had a huge fan base, myself included. I would give Bethesda any amount of money for Elder Scrolls 6. And this is the unfortunate part. And Bethesda has a huge presence in the gaming community. They've made legendary games, legendary titles. We all know who they are. Unfortunately, we move into Bethesda's new bullshit. Now, when Starfield came out, I won't lie, I was pretty excited for it. It's been a while since we've seen anything. This dropped back September 5th of 2023. But we all know how Starfield went. Starfield is a complete, massive, empty, barren wasteland with hardly anything to do. It's not flushed out at all. And as you can see on Steam, to me, Steam reviews are the most accurate way to tell a game's worth. A lot of people look at Metacritic. A lot of people look online, blah, blah, blah. Player reviews, 99% of the time, are the most accurate source of how you find information about how the players feel about the games. Of course, mind you, this is just Steam players. But if we take a look here, Starfield and this new Redfall bullshit, which was made by Arcane Austin, but still Bethesda signed off on it. These games, man, were a complete travesty, okay? And you might think this is pretty petty, but if we look back at Bethesda's previous tenure and track record with games, I mean, look at this. Overwhelmingly positive, very positive. These guys produce non-stop bangers, bro. And I'm talking 179,000 reviews, overwhelmingly positive. This is just one Skyrim, right? Special edition, not legendary, anniversary, whatever. This is just one version available on Steam. The people have spoken. We obviously like a certain thing from Bethesda. We know what to expect from Bethesda. These games are legendary. You can't say they are not. Before anyone says, oh, what about Fallout 4? Man, fuck Fallout 4. Okay, we're not going to talk about Fallout 4 today. Regardless of how good the games were, Bethesda knew they were good. How many fucking copies of Skyrim has Bethesda resold to us? I mean, if you look at this chart here, it's funny they got the Echo or the Alexa here, but you can play Skyrim so many different versions, so many different ways, probably close to 20 different released titles of this one game alone that they charge full price for every time. I wouldn't be surprised if you couldn't play Skyrim on your fridge. I mean, they resold us this shit over and over and over because they know it works. They know the formula. They know exactly what players want. Don't let them pretend they don't. They know what we want. And here we get into me, aka the common Bethesda consumer, dropping endless amount of dollars for Mr. Todd Howard, bro. Listen, we cannot allow this shit. We cannot keep letting them re-release Skyrim on the same dumbass, clunky-ass engine that they keep using. We'll get into that later. But we're just whales, bro. We're Bethesda whales. Bethesda knows you could slap Elder Scrolls or Fallout title on pretty much fucking anything and we will buy it. We will gobble it up like the good little piggies we are. Minus 60, minus 60, minus 60. Thanks, dumbass. And you know, it's sad. It really is. We haven't stopped to really consider what we are doing to the game industry as consumers. By continuously allowing Bethesda to resell us the same shit for the same price, we are no better than the people making the shit. This is a vicious cycle, and I am 100% to blame myself. Anything and everything with an Elder Scrolls label on it, I will fork over a blank check for Mr. Todd Howard. I mean, just look at his fucking face, bro. This guy, he knows, okay? He knows something we don't. Alright, and now we're going to jump over here to just a couple examples of modern gaming and how exactly they're doing. We all know the controversy between Shadows, Avowed, Concord, all these new releases. They are not doing very well. And if you take a look at the Average player count for Avowed, mind you, a $70 2025 AAA experience. We have an all-time peak of 19,000 players. Now, for a lot of you that don't know, 19,000 may seem like a large number, when in relativity, 19,000 people is not shit. This is just on Steam. Take a look at Skyrim. Mind you, just the special edition version of Skyrim. Look at this. This one version of Skyrim, this 15-year-old game, the 24-hour peak is double, triple, quadruple what Avowed is. And the game just came out. What is this, dude? What is this nightmare? I'll tell you exactly what it is. Players don't want to play this slop. We don't want to play your politically charged bullshit woke game. We don't want to play a game that looks like it was made in 2006. I don't know if you guys have seen this, by the way. If you go and look, there's literally videos comparing Avowed to 2006 Oblivion and Skyrim. And the comparisons are absolutely mind-blowing, dude. Avowed literally looks like it was made in 2005. I mean, sure, the graphics may look good, but I mean, you run around with fucking a disease growing on your face, and it just looks terrible. I mean, it does. It looks awful. And, you know, no hate to you. If you enjoy this game, I think you are either a new player who has not experienced any good games, or you're just fucking coping, dude. This shit is garbage. It's garbage. When a 15-year-old game outperforms you, one version of this 15-year-old game, by the way, one version, 5x's your active player count, that is terrible. Terrible. And of course, who do we have to blame for this bullshit? Daddy Microsoft, Big Daddy Bill Gates, okay? Yeah, so it looks like way back in 2020, September 21st of 2020, Microsoft purchased Bethesda and Obsidian. And what does this mean? Why do we care? Blah, blah, blah. Because Microsoft right now is notorious for absolute bullshit. And when it comes to new games being sloppy and developers being lazy and forcing a lot of politically charged bullshit in games, Microsoft is the kingpin, if you will. These guys thrive on this shit, man. I'm not trying to be edgy. I'm not trying to be based. I'm not trying to be cool. It's just facts, man. Nobody wants to fucking play a game where you're running around with diseases on your face. Or Miss Girl Boss 2025, Miss Independent. No one gives a fuck, man. We just want to play a game. Whether you're left, right, up, down, diagonal, parallel, it doesn't matter. We all hop on games to escape bullshit, okay? Nobody wants to play politically charged, racially charged bullshit games. We want the good stuff. And of course, 6 years ago, we had the Elder Scrolls 6 teaser trailer. 6 years ago, we had a fucking teaser. And it's sad because it's just a pan of a randomly, you know, a CGI world for fucking 36 seconds, and they slapped Elder Scrolls on it and we all went insane. When is the last time a movie, a video game, and anything has given you a teaser trailer and it is now 6 years old? If you were in 7th grade when this came out, you would be graduating high school and the game is still not out. Mind you, it's super funny because there's this guy, I think is Dupont. He has commented every single day since this trailer released. I think he's on like day 2,500 or something. This guy has commented every single day, just waiting until the day they release something. They haven't even said shit about the game. Nothing, bro. Now we're going to speak on Exhibit A. Hopefully this video game is not a politically charged, unfinished cesspool, okay? We all want the game to be good. We do. We all want the game to be good. Nobody wants the game to fail. None of us do. But here's something that is an elephant in the room for Bethesda that they refuse to change. It says here in an article, the project is led by game director Todd Howard, reprising his duties from previous games in the series, as well as other games developed by Bethesda Game Studios. The Elder Scrolls 6 will be the second game developed on the studio's in-house engine, Creation Engine 2, following Starfield. So, Starfield, that tremendously piece of shit empty game, Bethesda still refuses to leave their creation engine in the past. This is something that a lot of Bethesda fans have been complaining about for years, is this creation engine. If you've ever played a Bethesda game, you know it's riddled with bugs, okay? You understand that these games are janky as fuck. A lot of fans were hoping that they would steer away from the creation engine, but it looks like they're not. They're continuing to use the creation engine, and it looks like they also used it on Starfield as well. I don't want to like stamp my approval on that because I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure they used it for Starfield as well. All right, Exhibit B for Bethesda here. Their microtransactions are absolutely out of this world, man. Look at 76, look at ESO. Man, who the fuck wants to buy a hat, a Vault 76 cap for $5? They're following the same bullshit. I get it, man. But here's the problem, right? Microtransactions really in and of itself are not a problem. It's when you already charge full price for a game and then expect players to still fork over $5, $10, $20 for fucking skins. Oh no, but you could buy our membership service and get this cool armor from a game that we know you love, but we refuse to make. Oh, here, look. You remember this guy from our actual good game? Yeah, we'll sell you this skin only if you pay for the membership. Bro, give me a fucking break. And yes, Fallout 76 and ESO are MMOs, but it's outrageous to charge $40 and a subscription and microtransactions that make the game more convenient. It's absurd, man. It really is. And you know this is exactly why they added the Ranger armor to 76, is because they know this is what people want. Like, you could have added this in free content, earnable through in-game, you can earn it in-game some way. The fact that they know this is what you want, they know that this is the game you enjoy, and they're going to charge you a monthly sub to wear it, is fucking criminal. Oh, and please don't get me wrong, I played ESO for thousands of hours. I love Elder Scrolls Online. I love running around and exploring all the different continents of Tamriel. I'm a Bethesda whale myself. I'm not speaking from a privileged position. I'm speaking from an experienced position. I'm ashamed to mention how much money I have actually spent on Elder Scrolls Online, but it just goes to show you, like, they're not giving us what we want. They're working on these games for fucking almost 2 decades now. They're regurgitating the same slop, charging you the same microtransaction bullshit pot of greed, and they're getting away with it. Why are they getting away with it? Because us consumers are allowing it. We're still buying this junk, dude. Enough. The second we stop allowing greedy microtransactions and predatory tactics against players in video games, that's the second it will finally man up, do what FromSoft does, do what plenty of other developers do, and actually make a good game. Make the game we want. Stop. You know we want New Vegas 2. You know we want Fallout 5. You know we want Elder Scrolls 6. What are you doing? And of course, with all this being said, of course I understand that Bethesda and the team over at Bethesda has extremely high expectations from the consumers. I get that. They made a masterpiece with Skyrim and Oblivion. They made a masterpiece with Fallout. I understand that what they have to release has to be perfect or they're going to get shit on. I get it. I really do. It is hard to go from something as peak as Skyrim and make a sequel to it, to make the next game in the next area in the franchise. I get that that's a lot of weight on your shoulders. Elephant in the room, okay? Elder Scrolls 6 was leaked, okay? The game is going to be in Hammerfell. What is in Hammerfell? The Redguards. I just want to point out, Redguards are some of the coolest, most badass races in all of the Elder Scrolls. This little excerpt here on an explanation of their lore. Some of the Redguards are what's known as sword singers, right? They were an order of the Yucatan warriors who followed the way of the sword, a martial philosophy on blade mastery. Singers were capable of astonishing feats of swordsmanship and were viewed by some to be as much mages as warriors. They sought strength of body and mind. Although the tradition of sword singing originated in Yakuta, it was brought to the shores of Tamriel by the Regatta in the First Era. The Sword Singers were instrumental in claiming the entire province of Hammerfell and establishing a new homeland for the Yucatan people. The Ansai, and I'm probably butchering a lot of this pronunciation, but the Ansai or Sword Saints were the greatest among them. The most accomplished sword singer in history was Frandar Hunding, whose writings on the subject were revered by the Red Guard centuries later. These guys have some of the cool, most badass warrior lore you can possibly have, right? What I am worried about is that Bethesda is going to butcher it. They're going to somehow make it a racially charged, politically charged fucking slop fest that none of us want. As an Elder Scrolls fan, if you don't like Red Guards, you're insane. They're cool as shit. They're like the best warrior race in the entire game. You played ESO, you know going to Hammerfell is awesome, the Alakir Desert, everything. My only hope is that they stick true to the lore, they represent these guys in a good way, and they don't make it a racially charged bullshit political game. I don't want that. I mean, look at these guys, man. Red Guards are fucking awesome. They're badass. And the last topic I want to touch on here, this is just some bullet points here that we want out of a game, right? This is what we expect out of Elder Scrolls 6. Good writing, okay? We want a good, detailed story that's accurate to the lore. I'm like a broken record here, but I'm just saying we don't want politically charged, racially charged bullshit in a game. We want good writing, Bethesda. We want a good story. We want a detailed world. We want a fleshed out world where we can go and explore and we're excited about what's around every corner and alleyway. Not miles of empty bullshit like you had in Starfield. I don't know what you guys were thinking with this. This is boring. No one wants to run fucking 40 miles to one structure that is pointless. And then of course the atmosphere, right? We want it to represent what the Elder Scrolls is. We don't want it to be like if you take a look at Fallout 4, I say this all the time, I enjoy Fallout 4 as a game. I think Fallout 4 is amazing, but I think it strays from what makes Fallout that post-apocalyptic atmosphere. And you look at Fallout 4's art style, world design, atmosphere, everything just feels so vibrant and cartoony and just lame as shit. You look at games like Fallout 3, 1, 2, New Vegas, it sets you in a place where you feel like, damn, this place is barren, this place is brutal, this is a fucking wasteland with savages everywhere. In my opinion, these three things are what makes a game, right? You have a good story, you have good writing, you have a detailed world, and you have a good atmosphere. 99% of players are going to enjoy what they're playing. You know, you take a look at even Whiterun, one city, man. And of course, this is an art illustration, but you can go in any building. You got tons of different characters, and they all live their lives, and they go about their jobs, and they, it's fully fleshed. I don't know how many different quests are in Whiterun alone, and this is a game that's 15 years old. Something they can't mimic today, even in Starfield. This game is so empty, it blows my mind. Even when it comes to exploration and you want to explore a massive world, it's much better to explore a world that's detailed and fully fleshed out than an empty fucking nowhereville running 40 miles. And of course, we all want Bethesda to do good. We're all excited for Elder Scrolls 6. We want this game to be good. Nobody wants it to be shit. With the way modern gaming is going, with the way Bethesda's track record is currently going, I don't see it boding very well. And the point of this video is not to scare anybody and say the Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be terrible. If you're super hyped about Test 6, if you're super bandwagon and you don't give a fuck what Bethesda does, and you're going to be a good little piggy and give them all your money, I understand that, but just know I'm not going to bury the hatchet just yet for Bethesda. But if they fuck Elder Scrolls 6 up, man, I think it's just over for them. And I think they know that. This is the last game in the franchise I will buy, and if this game ends up being a pile of shit, unfortunately, I am done with Bethesda. I appreciate you guys listening to me and my points on why I think the game might be a piece of shit. Thank you guys so much for the time. If you would, hit like for me, subscribe, there'll be more to come. Thank you guys so much.